I got nothing to hide.
Let's split up. Brock, you take the bathroom and do a fire inspection.
Yo.
AJ, check the workshop.
Check.
Jenny, you and I will take the kitchen. Then we'll do a general sweep. Everyone have their zappers? All right, move it out.
Well, Mr. Gamble, I see a hazard right away. No ground fault circuit interrupter. If you were to drop an electrical appliance such as a hairdryer into the water, having it plugged into a GFCI could save your life.
I've been meaning to install one, but I've been so busy.
Well, now there's an easy way to do it. This tap plugs right into an existing outlet, making it a GFCI outlet. Nothing to wire, and it takes only about 5 seconds to install.
So now the bathroom's safe?
If I were you, I'd add a nightlight to my new outlet.
Why? The kids don't use this bathroom.
You'd be surprised how many adults have seriously injured themselves stumbling around in the bathroom. Put some light on the subject. Your tub also needs some non-slip treads or a bath mat. Tubs are the scene of thousands of hip fractures each year.
Yeah. Didn't the Pope fall in the bathtub and break his hip?
Yes, and bath mats are now a cardinal rule in the Vatican. Ouch! You should turn the hot water down to 120 degrees. It could prevent a scalding.
The kids could get hurt just by turning on the water.
Do you have small children, Mr. Gamble?
Yes. Why do you ask?
We'll never leave them in the tub unattended. Kids can slip and hit their heads and drown in less than a minute.
Look! Mr. Gamble left a pot boiling on the stove.
With the handle turned outward.
If he bumped into that handle,
He'd be wearing hot pants.
well, at least he's got a fire extinguisher.
But it's covered with dust. He probably hasn't tested it in years. And it's not even the right kind. Kitchen extinguishers must be ABC rated or they will not put out grease fires.
Did you realize that spattering grease is one of the major causes of blindness?
Boy, aren't you Miss Facts and Figures today? Come on, let's check under the sink.
Okay.
Just as I thought. A witch's brew of chemicals and cleaners. This cabinet needs child locks to keep little ones out.
Phew! I don't think this is kiwi strawberry cocktail.
You should always relabel bottles that are used to store chemicals. Or better yet, keep them in their original containers, never in food or drink bottles.
If somebody took a swig at this, it'd be the last drink they'd ever take.
Look at these knives. They wouldn't cut hot butter.
So what's so unsafe about that?
Well, a dull knife takes more effort. You start sawing back and forth, and pretty soon, you cut off more than you bargained for.
Ouch! We better put an edge on those knives.
Whoa, nice workshop. Although, I have immediately identified a few unsafe items. For example, leaving power tools plugged in is like very bad. Especially in a home where children reside. Second, Mr. Gamble has chosen to defeat the safety guards on this tool, thus robbing himself of valuable protection. Finally, I am unable to detect any safety gear of any kind in this workshop. At a minimum, safety glasses, hearing protection, and work gloves should be present and in perfect working order.
Jenny, look at this.
Gosh.
3 heavy-duty appliances and a light-duty extension cord. And a 3-pronged plug jammed into a 2-pronged outlet.
And look, exposed wire. That could cause a fire.
This extension cord is history. You know, Mr. Gamble said he had small children, but I haven't seen a single outlet cover.
No outlet covers? How shocking.
Hey, I heard a lot of zapping going on up here.
You got that right.
How about you, Brock? What did you and Mr. Gamble find?
Well, for starters, we found a smoke detector without a battery in it.
I burnt some toast one morning, and the stupid thing would not stop beeping. So I took the battery out and forgot to put it back in.
Mr. Gamble, you need a smoke detector with a hush button.
A what button?
A hush button. Press it when you burn some toast or let some smoke escape from the fireplace. The beeping will stop for a few minutes while the smoke clears.
Wow, great idea.
Mr. Gamble, how often do you test your smoke detectors?
Test them?
Typical. Here's a tip. Every month when you pay your rent or make a house payment, check your smoke detectors. It's some of the best fire insurance that you can get.
Yeah, that's what you said.
Hey, I corrected a few deficiencies back in the workshop. How's it going?
Great. Well, that about does it. We'll be heading on.
You know, you guys were right. Knowing all that on-the-job safety stuff, it doesn't automatically make me safe at home. Quite the contrary.
Mr. Gamble, we've addressed a number of safety hazards today, but it's your job to keep your home safe.
You're absolutely right. And now that I know what to look for, I'll do better. And hey, before you go, I'd like to take your picture.
Coming up on Zap Force, Fun in the Sun has the boys on the run.
So, did all you younger kids write your zaps down? Cool. All right, let's move on to the bigger kids. This next contest is for 7th through 12th graders. And the prize? A complete inline skating outfit from R&R Bicycle and Fitness in Anchorage. This isn't the cheap knockoff stuff. We're talking the real thing from Rollerblade. And of course, you'll also get a complete set of safety gear to go with your new skates. Here's what you need to do to enter. In the next section of this film, Andrea is going to show you how to put together a disaster kit. Your job is to put together your own disaster kit at home. Refer to the blue sheet included with this video. When you have everything checked off, have your parents check the kit, sign the blue sheet, and send it in. We'll tell you the address in a few minutes. All signed and completed entries will be placed in a drawing, and one lucky winner will be skating in style and safety. Since only Alyeska kids are competing, your odds of winning are good. So be sure to watch for Andrea and her disaster kit, and you could be a winner.
Thanks, Brock.
Oh, Welcome back, Zap fans. It's time for a good old-fashioned hazard hunt. Huh? What? You mean you live in Alaska and you've never been on a hazard hunt? Well, it's time. In this episode of Hazard Hunt, we'll be going through each room of the house imagining what would happen if the Earth started to move. Earthquakes are a common occurrence in Alaska. In fact, there's an average of 30 quakes in our state every day. Ready? Let the hunt begin. Earthquake, please. Upright furniture is the largest item that typically falls during a quake. Bookshelves, china cabinets, and hutches. Imagine where the books and plates would fall, and be sure to move any fragile items out of their path. Even a moderate quake can empty your shelves, so ZapForce recommends that you secure them to the wall. Anchor them to the studs using angle irons or hooks and eyes. This 20-minute job can save you hours of cleanup after a shaker. The kitchen suffers many of the worst effects of a quake, and your first line of defense is your cabinet doors. Install mechanical cabinet latches that will hold during a quake. These will keep the contents from spilling out. Decorative plates on the wall or cups on pegs become projectiles during a quake. Put away as many as you can. Hanging items become dive bombs during a quake. Lightweight plastic pots are safer than clay or metal. And make sure hangers have a closed loop in the hook. Finally, imagine what would happen to your refrigerator if your kitchen floor tilted even slightly. The answer? Be sure to block the wheels under your major appliances. Since you spend a third of your life asleep, there's a good chance you or someone you love will be in the bedroom when the big one strikes. The safest place for a bed is against an interior wall. These are less likely to collapse than exterior walls. This also keeps you away from windows that can shatter during a temblor. And another tip. Keep a pair of shoes and a robe next to the bed. These could be a lifesaver if you have to leave your house quickly. The last room in our hazard hunt is the furnace room. Now, what do you think is the biggest hazard in here during a quake? No. That's right, the water heater. Completely full, it weighs as much as 500 pounds. If it breaks loose, I don't even want to think about the damage it can do. The answer is plumber's tape. Attach this aluminum strapping to a stud and wrap it around your water heater. This should hold it steady and preserve an excellent source of drinking water. So why would you want to do a hazard hunt in your own home? Well, you don't need a hunting license. It's lots of fun, and it just might save a life. Earthquakes aren't the only disaster that could strike your home. Windstorms, blizzards, and power outages are part of life in the 49th state. It's important to get ready for any emergency. Here's Andrea to show you how.
Alaskan companies spend a lot of time planning and preparing for emergencies. Earthquakes, windstorms, fires. But many of their employees haven't prepared their own homes for these same types of disasters. After a disaster, many of the things you take for granted are gone. Electricity, natural gas, and clean drinking water are often cut off. Stores are sometimes closed, so there's no way to buy food. And how would you drive to the store if the roads were impassable? That's why it's important to make your own disaster kit. A mini storehouse is the things you need when a disaster strikes. You probably already have many of the items you'll need. And what you don't have, you can get at a variety store. You and your family can have a first-class kit in a couple of hours. Did you get what you needed?
Got it.
All right, let's go put it together. First, find a large, waterproof container with a lid. Even a garbage can will work. I'd recommend a brand new one. Now, what's the first thing you need after a disaster? That's right, a well-stocked first aid kit. Most stores carry pre-packed kits that can handle many emergencies. Then start gathering the battery-operated things. 2 flashlights, a portable radio, and a travel clock. Lay in an extra set of batteries for each one. If the disaster occurs in the winter, you'll need lots of light, so include a lantern. Battery-operated is the safest, but kerosene and white gas lanterns are okay. Be sure to store the fuel in a well-ventilated area, not in the kit. Perhaps the best type of food to stash is quick-cook or non-cook items. High-protein foods such as peanut butter and tuna will help preserve your strength. Canned fruits and vegetables are a good source of vitamins. Plus, they add moisture to your diet, and these foods last for years when stored properly. You may want to include a camp stove. A hot meal or a cup of hot chocolate will taste pretty good after a couple of days. 2 things that are very important and often forgotten are kitchen matches and a manual can opener. That's just about all you need inside your kit. Seal the kit and store it someplace that will be easy to get to in an emergency. And here's a word to the wise. Don't dip into the kit except in an emergency. If you use up the contents for your day-to-day living, they won't be there when you need them. Now let's look at 3 other essentials that are too big to fit inside the kit itself. Since your primary heat source may be disrupted, it's essential that you plan a backup. The traditional Alaska wood stove is probably the most reliable of the bunch. Be sure to keep a half a cord of wood on hand at all times. If your home doesn't have a wood stove, you should consider buying a high-capacity space heater that doesn't depend on electricity. You can go 3 weeks without a furnace and days without food, but you won't last 3 days without this, pure drinking water. You need to have 5 gallons on hand for each member of your family. Use discarded milk jugs to store your water. Clean them well, fill them up, and then add a couple of drops of chlorine bleach and seal them tight. This should keep the water fresh for a year or more. Store the water somewhere where it won't freeze and break the jugs. The third thing you'll need, besides heat and water, is warm clothing. Most of us have that in our closet. But what if our closet is destroyed? It's a good idea to keep an extra coat in another part of the house, such as the garage, just in case. And warm sleeping bags are a must. Even if you don't camp, you should invest in bags that will protect you to at least 0 degrees Fahrenheit. Well, that about does it. They're ready for the big one. So how about you? Are you ready? Take the checklist that came with this video and start assembling your own disaster kit. If you didn't get a copy of the checklist, you'll find one at the very end of this tape. Just copy it off the screen and get to work.
Coming up on Zap Force, Andrea and Jenny stop the guys in their tracks.
So, once you get your zaps recorded and your disaster kit's finished, send your entries to this address.
Alaska Pipeline, Vicki Swanson, Safety Specialist, 1835 South Bregaw, Anchorage, Alaska, 99512.
And now a word from the Alaska Legal Department.
This promotion is open only to the children and grandchildren of Alaska employees. 1 entry per child, please. Winners will be selected in a random drawing from completed entries only. Incomplete or incorrect entries will not be eligible to win. The contest will be judged by Alaska Pipeline's Safety Department, and the decision of the judges is final. Prizes are non-negotiable. Winners will be notified by mail within 7 days. Winners will be photographed for next month's Zapgram. Entries must be received at Alaska Pipeline no later than September 29th, 1994. The drawing takes place September 30th, so hurry! Questions? Call 265-8333.
Thank you, legal department. And as I said earlier, this contest is only open to the families of Alyeska employees. So it's much easier to win than, say, the Publishers Clearinghouse. So, if you thought you couldn't win, think again. You could be a winner.
What a beautiful day for a picnic.
I have really been looking forward to this. No homework to do, no hazards to zap, nothing but sun, sand.
Hey guys, look at that.
Whoa. The swimmer must have drowned.
Come on, Zap Force. We've got work to do.
Andrea, what can we do? Our zappers only zap hazards. We can't help people after they're in an accident.
Oh yeah? Watch this.
Whoa! How did you do that?
The rewind button, of course. There, Jenny, go stop
Wait,
her.
Andrea. I'd be glad to go.
No, Andrea, I'll save her.
Will somebody stop her?
Miss, wait a minute. Don't jump. Please, don't jump.
Why not?
You tell her, AJ.
Well, miss, you may not realize it, but you are in grave danger.
I am?
Yeah, we saw you jump in and we saw you starting to jump in.
What he's trying to say is that the water is very cold, and you were going to drown. I mean, you might have drowned.
Who are you guys, anyway?
I'm Brock, and this is AJ. We're members of Zap Force.
Our mission is to bring the message of safety to all mortals aboard planet Earth.
So, as a mortal, if I dive in there, I'll be in danger?
Well, we need to tell you something, Miss.
April.
Miss April?
April's my first name.
Oh.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Oh, fine. Jenny, Andrea, this is April.
Are you also members of Zap Force?
Yes, we are. Do you mind if we ask you a few questions?
Go ahead.
April, have you tested that water to see how deep or cold it is?
Well, it was such a nice day, I just figured it was fine.
Are you a strong swimmer?
Well, I've never had lessons.
Well, perhaps you could use a personal swimming instructor.
April, there's 4 basic rules for outdoor swimming. AJ, would you mind?
Huh?
AJ. Learn to swim properly. Never swim alone. Always wear a personal flotation device. And always wade slowly into the lake at first. Never jump or dive in.
Wait a minute, why can't I dive?
If you dive into an area that's too shallow, you could break your neck. Many people have done this and have never walked again.
If the water is too cold, it could be a severe shock to your system. Your muscles could be useless in a matter of seconds. That just happened to a boy in Palmer.
And if you're going any distance from the shore, you also need a PFD.
Permanent fund dividend?
No, a personal flotation device. You know, a life jacket.
Look, I didn't spend $1 bazillion on this swimsuit to cover it up with some ugly orange life vest.
Fine. Then try one of these.
Oh. This is cool. What is it?
It's a new kind of personal flotation device. it inflates when you pull this string, so it's not bulky like traditional life vests. ZapForce is recommending these new PFDs for anyone who works or plays near the water, especially swimmers, boaters, and fishermen.
Well, thanks a lot for the vest. I think I'll check out the water now.
Not so fast, Fraulein. What about those swimming lessons?
Yes, and you're never supposed to swim alone.
Hey guys, what about our picnic?
Safety first.
Business before pleasure.
Have fun, guys. We're gonna go eat.
I guess this means we can eat their share of the cookies.
Not so fast, partner. Remember, safety first.
Wow. No protective gear of any kind. That's an accident waiting to happen. How do we stop them?
Well, the rewind button worked. Let's try pause.
Are we gonna let them go?
Yeah, but let's zap some safety gear on them first.
Good idea.
First, and most important, is a helmet. Probably 80% of those who die in biking and skating accidents could have been saved if only they had worn a helmet.
How about some elbow and knee pads? They're lightweight and they make you look professional. And they keep you from breaking a bone or getting an ugly scab if you fall.
Let's add the final touches. Safety sunglasses and leather gloves. Gloves prevent scraped hands, and sunglasses look cool, and they protect your eyes from dust, rocks, and the sun's harmful rays.
Should we let them go now?
Come on, I've got an idea. Wait, you're over here.
Okay. Okay. That's where we were?
Uh-huh,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, let them go.
Hey guys, nice gear.
Yeah. Thanks. Where'd all this stuff come from? Hey, where'd they go? No! Buddy.
Well, dudes and dudettes, thanks for watching our show. However, we've received word that some of you have elected not to enter our contests, thus passing up your best chance of winning since Chutes and Ladders.
1, 2, 3. Hey, I won!
Maybe you'll have better luck than I'm having. Watch the show again carefully. Remember, if you don't enter, you can't win. If you have comments about ZapForce or ideas for future episodes, please write to Alyeska Pipeline, Vicki Swanson, Safety Specialist, 1835 South Brigade, Anchorage, Alaska, 99512. See you next time on ZapForce.
Hey, AJ, you wanna play again?
Yeah, sure.